setting up your Xbox 360 input for your AVR 7550 HD. Simple, hit your AVR button, which will bring up your main menu. Click down to set up source, and then look for the game input or media server, are generally the two that are used. Game, click on game, and that will bring up the main gaming menu. For now, forget about audio effects or video modes or any of that kind of stuff. We want to get to the right HDMI input that we're using and assign it. In this case, we're using HDMI 4, but simply by clicking on that, we'll pull up the menu to the right side. Just select the HDMI input that you're using for your Xbox 360 and click on it, and it will set it up for both video and digital audio. When you come down to the bottom here, this is where we're going to set the AVR up to match our display. In this case, we have a projector that's capable of 1080p at 60 Hertz, and that's the resolution that we're going to choose. And then it's telling us right now that we have 1080p coming from our Xbox 360, so there's no need to touch the picture really at all. And this section is our HDMI bypass. We would use this for products like a computer, or in the case of 3D TV, where we need to bypass the internal scaler on the AVR so that the source device can speak directly to the projector or display device. If we'd like to change the name, we can. We would click on change name, and then you can scroll down and choose the character for your listing that you want to use. And then of course you can save that, and this way when you look at the front of the AVR, that would be the name that you gave to it. If we were adjusting lip sync, in other words, there was a delay between the video portion and the audio portion, we can do that by hitting the adjust lip sync, and then we would see the picture, and down the bottom right side we would dial up the right amount of delay so that the audio matches up with the video. In this case, with the projector that I'm using, I have not had to add any delay. Certainly with our Xbox, it's worked quite nicely. Then on the 7550 HD, you're able to adjust the actual level input. Mine here, as I look at other devices that I have, my Xbox 360 is set at 0 dB. But if you have other devices in your system and you're trying to match them level for level so that when you switch between devices, you don't have any differences in the volume setting on your receiver, you can make that adjustment. So you can go up and add some incremental gain to the system, or if it's too hot compared to your others, pull it back a bit. But again, for me, right at the default at 0 is perfectly fine. If we were using this device to choose between digital and analog audio, we would certainly set the polling to on, but we don't need that here. And zone 2 audio, I have no intention right now of taking any analog audio out of the Xbox for distributed throughout the house, so I really don't have a need for that. Exactly, I'm not going to distribute any video as well. I don't use any external amplifiers, so I could have this trigger be on or off. The record out, again, not something I'm necessarily going to use for Xbox, so we would leave those as set. Going back up to the top, we have audio effects, and this is where we can choose whether we want to use Dolby volume. For gaming, I like all the dynamics to be there, so I don't use any of the Dolby compression schemes to limit them. I don't necessarily want to go in and change bass and treble, so that's off. We do have Easy Set EQ set up for this system, so that's on, and the first speaker position. And then in the video modes, for gaming, obviously you can set this however you want. You have a sports mode, you have a nature mode, a movie mode, custom mode where you can configure everything as you wish, as well as turning it off completely. And so from a perspective of Xbox, I generally, when I play, I like to have a little bit higher contrast, a little higher brightness, because I tend to find I can pick things out in gaming a little bit better. So I leave it on the sports mode. But for other devices that I have in the system, like my Blu-ray player or my cable box, where I'm more likely watching movies, I would either use the movie mode or a custom setting based upon the device. This is really nice to be able to do because each device that you have connected to the AVR is going to exhibit a little bit different color characteristics, brightness characteristics, contrast characteristics, and that will allow you to make those adjustments for each one of those devices so that they perform the very best that they can. The next is surround modes, and in this case, we've got a lot of different choices. My preference is Logic 7 movie mode. I use this for just about everything I listen to. I do that because it gives me a fairly good center channel, and Logic 7 movie is designed to bring out the intelligibility. So I'm playing online games with my friends. Their voices tend to come through a lot better through the center channel. They're a bit more focused. There is a mode on here for gaming. And the Logic 7 Gaming just enhances the surround channels a bit, makes the steering a bit more aggressive. It's really cool to play in this mode. However, I'm kind of a video game novice, so all that kind of tends to distract me just a little bit. But for you top tier, especially the first person shooter games, Logic 7 Gaming is the stuff to have. So you would just simply choose that, and then that will overlay, in the case of the 7550 HD, over anything you pipe through it through your Xbox. So you can have up to 7.2 channel surround from anything from video games to DVDs to music CDs to stuff that you stream over the web. So in the case of an Xbox 360, a Harman Kardon 7550 HD is a really, really good choice.